Hey guys, this is the backside of Fairview Christian Church out here on a homeschool day checking out things. I was looking for a certain grave that's over there. I knew where it was. Here's a couple more I found. There's bunches and bunches of graves in here. Different people don't know anything about him. Here's a guy, World War II. And notice he died a couple years after World War II. It ended in 45. So I'm wondering, did he just come back and die, or was that a injury-related thing? Here's a guy from the Spanish-American War, which did not last very long, but he was there for the whole thing. And you go on down, headed toward Vernon Leathers' grave. Mr. Leathers was killed in action from World War II. And here's more guys here. This is a Yankee, Larkin Dennis, First Sergeant, Grand Army of the Republic. He served these 3 years and died, 34 years after the war. And they're all over the place. There's two musicians buried separately, but Confederate musicians. I mean, how many Confederate musicians were there? They had to be Pickin brothers or, Pickin partners from a little local get-together. Two of them to wind up in the same cemetery is quite remarkable. Here's a guy here. Here's a POW, a Confederate POW. John Barnett. Is this Aaron Barnett Rhodes' family? I don't know. Company F, Helms, 1st Kentucky Cavalry. This is probably Charles Helms, governor from E-Town's son, who died in, if I remember all this right, you can check it out, I'm trying to do this from memory. He died in the war, but this guy was a POW for 3 months. And then he lived on until just right before World War I. But these are all over the place. This is Mr. Leathers' grave, and y'all gonna think I'm a grave robber or something because I keep sending videos from cemeteries. I'm seeing what's going on in the country, and as I do that, as a student of history, I think back on these people. Here's Vernon Leathers. Okay? World War II. He's a killed in action guy from what I remember. Died in 1943, it looks like. Private First Class, 302nd Infantry, 94th Division. I woke up this morning and messed up and checked the news. AP story, first thing. And it said, the government says now that we can be together with other people. First Amendment right. We can now be together with other people if we have our vaccine. And it says the article goes on. And it's the AP, so it ranks right up there with used toilet paper. But it says, people are longing to get back to normal. They're longing to be with people. And they're asking the government permission to get together. Okay. We as Americans don't ask permission to own a gun. We don't ask permission to go to church. I can go to this church. I can go to another church. I don't ask the government that. The First Amendment says the government, can't stop me from going to this church. The government cannot stop me from peaceably assembling. And if BLM can get together and have a freak fit and burn down cities, I can get together with my family. Fact. And because I said that right now, the audio recorders at Facebook are picking it up. And I'm probably on the Facebook poo-poo list again. But I'm an American. I will never, ever, ever ask them permission to do what's my God-given right and what's protected by the First Amendment of the Constitution. It's none of their business. I do want guidance from them as far as, hey, the train derailed, it's now safe to go out. Or, hey, the train derailed, but I would stay away from the Heritage Hall area because there's a chlorine tanker turned over. Hey, big storms, don't go down Aaron Barnett Road right now because there's trees down. The neighbors need to get through. I understand that, but I will never seek out permission from the government and ask a guy that's making $37,540 a month if I have permission to get together and peacefully assemble. That's as stupid as going to Paul Miller in Lexington asking, Paul, should I buy a Chevy or a Ford? And I'd say that Paul Miller would probably say, well, you know what? I sell Fords. I recommend you buy a Ford. He is totally biased. Maybe a great guy, but he's biased. This crap will never end until we quit sucking up and asking somebody permission to do what we can do anyway. I don't mind the guidelines. It's their job to give us guidelines, but it's not their job to tell us how to live. It's not our place to beg them, oh, please, master, please, may I get together? No, that's not how it works. It's not how it worked here for Mr. Leathers. He fought for the country. We'd have rights. He did not fight and die face down in the mud in the Pacific, North Africa, in Europe, wherever it was. He did not do that, so we would beg unelected people to tell us when and how we can live our lives. And y'all probably won't get to watch this again because it'll be banned, but that's the truth. That's where we're headed. And the more we bend over and take it, the more it'll go on everything. We got to live our lives. If you don't want to go out, don't go out. If you want to go out, go out. Be careful, be respectful, be nice. But leave me alone. Do not tread on me.